Okay, here we are. They are Germans amassed in the woods. Germans amassed in the woods on the northeast part of the table. So this is the game. It's into turn 2. It's the game I was going to do a live play with Anthony and Matt. We had some technical difficulties and it went late, so I got some work stuff I got to do all week. So I'm going to just kind of wrap up the game here and we'll try it again. So Matthew had kind of put his stuff here, so I'm going to, and it was supposed to be 8 turns, but when you have a smaller table, you reduce the turns. So I'm going to go to see what I can get done in 6 turns. I might go to 7 and then see, but I'm not going to go 8 because the table's 6 inches narrow, 6 inches less deep, and 18 inches less wide. So it's pretty small, so maybe you just go 6 and see what we get. Anthony put this here, and I'm assuming he was kind of planning on bringing Matt to him. That doesn't mean Matt would do that, but since Matt had brought the troops up this way, I'm going to just continue this. I don't know what the intentions were. And then the Americans failed to come in on turn 2. So that's turn 2. See ya. Okay, into turn 3. What an eventful or not eventful turn? Well, it was an eventful turn for the Americans. The first thing that happened was the A company, blundered and had to move a full move backward. So they just missed going off board. They had to move a whole move back. That was the first problem. Then B company failed their command roll. Then the CO was able to finally command them and get them moving. And then he did it again. They got a 1, a double 1. So they were able to do 2 moves, moved up to here. They were hit once and suppressed by opportunity fire from these guys. So those guys finally were able to do something. Then these guys moved up, and this guy was positioned to op fire. He did, nothing happened. And then on the German turn, this tank started to move out so he could kind of cover this flank here and kind of get these guys, but then he took a suppressing hit and was stopped, thus blocking this guy. Here, these guys both were going to move back into the woods so they'd get out of sight, and they both were hit with suppressing op fire from these guys. He needs a op fire as well. That's the position. We're going into turn 4. Into turn 4. Americans took out a tank. These guys over here took out a tank, and then these guys also inflicted 5 hits on him and suppressed, and then also called in mortar hits. Got 1 hit on the German mortar, and then these Germans initiative back out of cover, or into cover, so they could quit getting nailed by these tanks. But I don't think I'm going to win this fight as the Germans. I'm not going to continue getting hit here, so I'm going to need to pull back and yeah, I'm sure I am not executing Anthony's plan as said. I think next time I'm going to mount these guys up and bring them through here. We gotta get over here into the woods and swarm these guys with anti-tank guns, because these guys aren't going to move close enough to these guys. If I keep making that progress, maybe I can go around this way and do that. The Americans finally had success. Oh, I didn't move the American company units, the command units, so I need to do that after I turn the camera off. The Americans moved up here with their armored infantry into here. They finally, these A guys got up to there at least. This guy took some hits from the mortar, from the German mortar, being spotted by this HQ. I don't think I'm doing that right at all. And I'm not really sure I did the American one right. I'm going to have to read up on that. Anthony had me using this guy as a spotter for this mortar. I'm not sure you can do that, but then I think, well, why not? Usually I thought it was a unit that could communicate to this guy to communicate to the mortar. So yeah, it's confusing. I don't need to go into that now. So Okay, that's it for turn 4. We'll do turn 5, and as they say on the acceptable casualties, catch in a flash. Okay, so here we are at the end of turn 5. The American A Company continues their flubs, and they failed the roll, and then the CO failed the roll. A Company is just blundering city, some bad communication leadership from them. B Company moved up to here into the woods, and they're moving there. They had hoped to move across here. They did not. Had some developments over on this side, on the northeast side. Pardon me, that was jerky. The Americans lost a platoon of tanks here to the fire of these guys here. So these transitions are terrible. I apologize. This tank came up here, fired on this. I think, yeah, he fired on him. I think this guy took this guy out. And nothing happened with the guys in the woods. And these all these people from here mounted up, went around. We're going to come over here. They failed their next... Well, actually, they failed their roll. This whole second company failed their roll. You might call it second Kampfgruppe, because Kampfgruppe. They failed their roll. These guys were able to command them, so they mounted and then came around. Oh, they rolled a double one. So they were able to mount and move around. These guys were able to fire a lot of times and move. So that was good. They got up here. I was hoping to... So that was my first roll from the CO. And the second one, I hoped to get them up here so they could swarm these guys and take them out. But that did not happen. Something else I just thought of. In command decision, I wonder if I should try to play this in command decision next. It's fairly simple. And some people have been asking. I'll have to think about that. Kind of getting into the Blitzkrieg commander thing here. But anyway, so that's it. This is a long one. I don't want to use his tagline again, but we'll catch you after turn 6. Into turn 6. So the rules say that for every foot, so if my table was shorter, so my table is 42 inches, and so most tables are 4 foot, so that's another 6 inches. They say for every foot that their troops are closer to, you deduct a turn. With a foot they're further apart, you take a turn. So really, this should, because it's 6 inches, I'd go 7 turns. Really, it should be just 8. But I'm ready to wrap it up here, so we'll probably do 7 turns. I'm going to do one more turn. But the width is, another foot too, so you could argue that. But what's funny to me is, like, gosh, if I had another 18 inches on this, what would I wouldn't, the battle's all going to be like right here. I couldn't have gone all the way around the table. I'm pointing to stuff you can't see. All right, well, what happened here? A tank platoon was taken out by a mortar. You might say to yourself, oh, shoot, I just realized these guys probably couldn't have fired on him. Oh, well. Yeah. Whoops. They weren't facing in the right direction. Not even close. Yeah, they didn't do that. I can't give that to them. So they had 2 hits. They were here, blocking the way. They were suppressed. And that would come off, that would stay, I don't know when they got suppressed. I have to go back and watch the tape. I want to stay, I guess I don't remember them getting hit though. Anyway. All right, well, so the Germans were able to get to this tree. I'm kind of going in reverse order. In the German turn, they got here. They got able to get to the trees. He did fire and suppress this guy so then they could easily move. This guy couldn't see him, so they moved in here. They failed to roll to dismount. That was a bummer. I should have moved this guy up. This HQ is moved up to observe these guys. B Company, so now back to the Americans. The tanks did a little bit of damage. B Company moved up here. A Company, they passed their first roll. They got here. Actually, no, B Company failed. Did they fail? I had another failure. I have had lots of failures. A company succeeded finally. A company moved in here, rolled again to move up here, blundered, rolled a 12. So they rolled a 12, blundered, rolled another 12. Their CV is down 1 for the rest of the game. Good job. A company is, A company. All right, we'll see you after turn 7. End of game. I would say it's a slight German victory. A blundered. No, I'm sorry. A was able to move. So they got up there. And then they failed their next roll. B company moved into here. And then dismounted. Nothing really much happened with the tanks. They were suppressed. Took a hit. No, they weren't suppressed. They took a hit. No, actually nothing happened because the German tank never hit them. Then the one guy was suppressed. I basically moved my platoon up a little bit. I wasted these guys. I should have done something with them, moved them in the side. I should have moved him over here to attack that tank. That was a failure on my part. Could have come around his flank back here. Actually, I can do that. Hold on. All right, a couple things I did. The mortar here was able to fire. I should have done that at the beginning of at a different part of the turn. I got to figure out that whole mortar spotting thing. Anyway, so this mortar fired on these units and suppressed these guys and put 4 hits on them. So they could have close assaulted them and maybe taken them out. Though they would have got a lot of support. Anyway, so the end result's the same. So I commanded these guys to move my infantry around to try to shoot that tank out. Failed their command roll. So that's the game. Sorry, Anthony and Matt, if I did not command your troops the way you'd hoped. Sorry it gets all shaky when I move it on my tripod. I just figured overall the video is smoother with it on the tripod. All right, 7 turns, fun game. I like the smaller game. I'm not having a bigger game. I got to kind of prepare myself mentally that it's going to take a long time to do a bigger game. I just need to get better with the rules, like the mortar thing, like do the transports get half a move when they dismount or mount. I don't know. There's some things there. It could be a house rule thing. I'd like to talk to Anthony and some other people that play to see what they do. So this is going to be a long video, I think, after I combine all these videos. So that's the game. I think that's game 15 and 16 for me for Blitzkrieg Commander. All right, well, that's it. I'll talk to you all. It's going to be a while, and we'll see you when I get back.